Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Ratner. That was years ago. This is Ratner. I'm here to introduce you to our wonderful friend, GLAAD's president, Brendon.
Brendon helped me launch GLAAD's Coming Out for Equality PSA campaign, which you'll hear more about, of course, later on tonight. But getting involved with Herndon and GLAAD has given me a chance to show the world who I really am. And that's an ally to the LGBT community. It's also really been an incredible learning experience. For example, like most Americans, I didn't know and don't support the fact that it's legal in 29 states to fire someone for being gay and in 34 states for being transgender. Working with GLAAD has been so positive and enlightening, and I'm really excited to be educating people that we all share the same humanity. I have to thank Herndon for really making this happen. Thank you, Herndon. Congratulations. To Anderson, that was awesome. And thank you, Herndon, and also the entire board of GLAAD for considering me for this award. I'm going to try to read this. I guess I'll read it from up there because I don't have my glasses. And I wrote this myself, actually. Homophobe, bigot, gay basher, ignorant frat boy, fat Jewish pig. I was called all these names when I foolishly used a gay slur in a misguided attempt to be funny during an interview. Do I believe what I was called to be true? Aside from the Jewish and fat part? No, absolutely not. But I learned a valuable lesson. A word can matter, whether it's said with malice or as a joke. And I know that I have love in my heart for everyone, but it doesn't count for much if a word has been said by me that helps to perpetuate and validate the people out there that are truly bigoted and hateful. After some examination, I've taken some steps that I hope will stamp out thoughtless bigotry. Together with a number of my friends, we made some PSAs with the hope of changing people's behavior and helping them become allies for all equality. It's been truly rewarding, and I'm grateful and humbled to receive this honor from GLAAD. And again, thank you, Herndon, and thank you everybody at GLAAD. I really appreciate this honor. Thank you.
About 8 years ago, I filmed a little mini-series for the BBC called The Line of Beauty. And it's based on the Alan Hollinghurst novel about a young gay man who comes down to London in the mid-80s. And while I was shooting that, I was very, very privileged to speak to gay friends of mine and have friends of theirs open up to me with their real-life stories. Some of them were hilarious. A lot of them were incredibly heartbreaking. And those stories will stay with me for the rest of my life.
Brendon's actually the one that does the demolishing. I try and get out of the way. But we still stand up for each other in our fight for LGBT equality. And we support GLAAD's work in sports, like sharing the stories of lesbian UFC fighter Liz Carmouche and openly gay boxer Orlando Cruz. We also traded...
This is great being acknowledged by GLAAD, and it's actually very significant because it means actually the most to be accepted by our community. So we're very grateful. Thank you, GLAAD, and we also want to thank NBC for being so bold with doing such an ambitious show.
Activity always wins. I've got a Super Bowl ring in the mail. Thank you for your help and support. And I'd also like to say, off a script, that football is a lot like what we're facing right now. You have to fight, scratch, and claw for everything. Even though it's our rights, we're born to have equal rights. We have to fight, scratch, and claw for everything because they're not going to give it to us. And for the first time, we're actually winning the game. So keep doing what you're doing. We're going to turn this thing around.
Seriously, we're so honored to accept this award on behalf of CBS and The Amazing Race. We're such a little part of this show and its history. It's been on for 22 years, and that's not something, 22 seasons, that's not something we should take for granted, because that's over a decade of putting LGBT Americans in living rooms. And it's doing it on Sunday nights, after NFL, after 60 Minutes, in the family hour, to 12 million Americans, many of whom have never seen LGBT couples and individuals in their living rooms before.
Is here, that if my daughter does come to me and say, look Mom, I'm gay, are you going to support me? That it's not just me, but there's a community out there that's going to help her keep her head up high and be herself and not be ashamed of who she is.
I'd like to thank GLAAD and everyone here for recognizing our family. I'm so proud of Jazz and everyone behind me. We just have a loving family. And I just want to say, it's always, always about unconditional love. Thank you, everyone, for being kind.
And GLAAD is right behind you, and we look forward to working with you and helping change further the hardships that trans people face. And so thank you very much. Unfortunately, Jazz is not alone. GLAAD is a station. And as we've seen tonight, what's going on in schools around the country to little girls like Coy and Jazz is a form of abuse, and GLAAD is committed to help stop it, both in their particular schools and across the school system in the United States. We're getting upstaged here. Thanks to GLAAD, Coy's story has been seen on the Katie Couric Show and CNN. And tens of thousands of people have already signed a Change.org petition demanding her school take her out of harm's way and do the right thing. So in spite of all of the solicitations you'll hear tonight from us, we don't just need your financial support, we need your voice.